That's dope. I like that.
Shalom, shalom, what's good, what's happening? It's your Hot Karaj from the Sakari Sake. We out here with another video. We're trying to reach some people in the spirit of Thanksgiving. Yesterday, right, we wanted to see just how thankful our people really are for the slaughter and genocide of their own people, man. It don't make sense to me. We want to see if it makes sense to everybody else, right? So I hope y'all enjoy it. Alright, so yesterday was Thanksgiving, right? You celebrate Thanksgiving?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? So you're thankful and all, right?
Yeah.
Alright, let me ask you this one question. Should the Native American people be thankful on this day or yesterday?
Honestly, like, they should have something to be thankful for, and we need to work harder to give them something to be thankful for. That makes sense?
Well, the only reason why, to me, it doesn't make sense is because this day is a memorialization of the slaughter of their people. So when you think about what the Native Americans have to be thankful for on this day, what really is it?
See, that's where I'm saying we need to give them something.
And what do you think we should give them?
We need to give them the proper avenues to have support, and we need to be giving them like the proper reparations in the form of more support for their reservations and their own independence in any form that we can give that.
What if it was giving them their land back? Would you subscribe to that idea?
Shit, as long as there's some simple form of like figuring out relocation for the people who already live there in an affordable fashion and in a way that doesn't disrupt anyone, I think something could be made. But frankly, I'm not that smart. I'm not the type of person who can figure that out.
So we got to remember, right? This whole country belongs to the indigenous people, the native people of this land, right? So when we say giving them their land back, it would be the entire country.
And
Would you subscribe to that idea?
If it was in the instance that we let them have the sovereign control, but they still let us live here as long as we're under their rule. It's like, it's one of the things where it's like, if they established a democratic body in union with our government, or even like a separate government to ours, I would be down for that.
Yeah?
Honestly, our government sucks anyway.
So do you believe that you guys should have the right, after all the bloodshed, to still be on the land?
Bro, we just live here, man. Like,
Can I give you one verse real quick? Let me give you one verse, we'll let you go on about your day. Give me Numbers 35. You know what I want. Let me see, let me show you, right? You believe in justice?
I would like to. It doesn't exist in our country as much as it should.
I agree to that. I agree to that. Justice does not exist in this country whatsoever, right? And so let's see what the God of the Bible suggests should happen. Let's read that.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 35 and verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are.
So we shouldn't pollute the land where we at, right? Go ahead.
For blood it defileth the land.
So would you agree that this land is defiled by blood?
Word.
Okay. An honest man, go ahead.
And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed
So the land, it can't be cleansed of the blood that was shed. Read.
therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
So do you agree that the bloodshed should be returned to the people that shed the blood of the previous owners of this land?
If we could take the people who committed those atrocities and put them to justice for their crimes, 100% we would.
But we can't, right?
Unfortunately, that time is fucking long gone, and I wish that we could make them face what they've done. But unfortunately, we need to figure out more productive ways to give back and show our remorse in more productive ways.
So the same way the descendants of those Native American people are suffering the repercussions of the atrocities that happened to their people, is the same way the descendants of the people that committed those atrocities are benefiting from those events. So do you think that you guys should be stripped of all your benefit and removed from the land entirely?
I don't know about removed from the land entirely, because that's a whole different ballgame.
Okay.
These are millions of people with pre-established lives that had nothing to do with the atrocities previously committed. The least we could do is give them the ability to establish themselves as sovereignty wherever they desire.
So then,
Shouldn't displace people who already have their established lives.
so then what you're saying is that justice would never be served.
I feel like it's too complicated an issue for everyone to be happy, and it's one of those things that, like, again, I'm not a very smart guy.
No worries.
I'm
This is
sure
why we just having
all
a
of these
conversation.
answers have come from a very unintelligent place, but frankly, I don't know the answer, and I'm not going to pretend I know the answer. But
Would you say that God has the answer?
I don't even know if there is a God, and
Okay.
I'm not even going to
That's
try to
fair.
wrap my brain around if there is.
That's
but-
fair, right? So you believe in justice. You believe in morality, a good morality.
I believe that some people can have a good moral compass, and I believe that justice could exist in an ideal world that is not ours.
So justice doesn't exist in this world whatsoever. Okay, but you would want it to exist, right?
I would love for
So what does justice look like for the Native American people?
It's such a tough question, and frankly, I'm not intelligent enough to give you an
Okay.
answer on that.
Let's see what justice looks like in the eyes of the Most High God. Get that verse, and then we're gonna let him go about his day.
2 Thessalonians verse 1 and 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
So in the eyes of God, it's actually a good thing to pay back. That's what recompense means, to pay back those that troubled us, right? So when we look at the history of the Native American people, the Hispanic people, the African American people of this land, we have been troubled for hundreds of years. So in the eyes of God, it's actually a right thing to pay back those that have troubled us. Would you say that's justice?
I would say it is the closest thing that we can get to true justice.
Okay, all praises. And that's all we wanted to hear. We wanted to hear true honesty, right? Because that is the only way that justice can be served. And like you said, those people that did those horrific things, they're not here, but the descendants are, right? The descendants of the Native Americans, they're here, right? They have to suffer while you guys benefit. So there has to be some type of justice served for the people that are suffering from what happened, right? So that was all we had for you, man. Just wanted to pick your brain on it, man. I'm glad that you said that recompense is true justice. All right, what was your name? Brandon? My name's Karaj. Have a good day, man.
Appreciate your time.
Bless you guys. I hope everyone can
You too.
Huh? Anthony.
Anthony, of course. Now, everybody gets together for Thanksgiving. Everybody's like, the tradition is, giving thanks. But we never really think about like the origins of Thanksgiving. Okay. Now, the Native Americans, they really don't celebrate Thanksgiving because to them it was like something different to them. All right. Now, should they be happy? You know anything about that? You know anything about the history of that? Okay, Thanksgiving is really like the celebration of the slaughter of Native Americans. Alright. So when they look at that, they don't see that as like something they should be thankful for. They see that as like a genocide, a massacre. Rape, robbery, murder of their people by the colonizers, the Europeans. Okay. So really our question is like, do you think they should be thankful for that?
Well, I don't know, everybody got their own beliefs.
Yeah.
Right? At the end of the day, everybody, like, I mean, for the most part, right?
Yeah.
They got their own belief system.
Yeah.
What they choose to follow, everybody else does too,
Yeah.
To each their own.
Yeah, to each their own. But no, it's not like accusatory. We're not like, I'm not trying to put you like on the spot, like it was you guys. No, nothing like that.
Oh, I don't care.
But
Bro, let me ask you a question, right? What do you think I am? Just by looking at it. What nationality do you think I am?
I can't say because it really doesn't go by your skin color.
What nationality are you?
Huh? No, but usually, right? Like usually, the way it really is, right? What would your first reaction be?
Well, the way we kind of operate, because we're part of an organization, so we don't really judge people's ethnicity based off of color. We don't believe in that. So that's why I couldn't tell you. I mean, you look a
We'd have
lot
to
of
ask
different things.
you.
We'd have to ask you.
Okay.
So what are you?
So usually, right? Like
Yeah.
I've gotten this my whole life, right?
Right.
White, right? But I'm Mexican, right?
All praises.
I got the blonde hair, got the green eyes, right? Everybody automatically.
What ethnicity you think he is?
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, no,
That's
for
why we
real.
don't go right
That's
there
what I'm
with
saying, right?
Yeah.
So you know, at the end of the day, I really like. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I really don't care too much for get into all that stuff. You know, I just do me only. You know.
So like, do you think it's like a problem to think about something that happened like way in the past? Like, you think that's like that like brings up all like old demons, old ghosts?
That's where you come from. Like, you know, there's history behind that.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if it affects you now, like.
Watch this. Whose land was this before the conquistadors came over?
Of course.
You're part of that group, right?
Oh yeah.
So should you be thankful on this day?
Why not?
Because this day is memorialization of the people
It's not
that
affecting me now, though. If you want me to be honest with you, if you really want to be deep and you want to get into your history and you want to do all that, right? Like, is it paying my bills? Is it paying, like, is it helping me in any way? Yeah, it's good to know. It's good knowledge, right? But at the end of the day, right? Like, I don't really fester on too much on certain things that really don't have affected me in my life now. It's good to know. Other than that, like, for me, I'm just speaking for myself. But
So it's fine that people can make a holiday and memorialize the slaughter of your people. It's fine. It's fine because it doesn't affect you.
I don't know if it's fine because I'm not the one that made the holiday. You get what I'm saying?
The people that did those horrific things to you made the holiday, and you celebrated.
What? Yeah, you're right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I
so
get
it's not about how it affects us, but it's about we're really memorializing a day where on this day they slaughter my people.
Yeah.
That's really crazy to even grasp. You get what I'm saying? So it's not about you trying to figure out how it affects you. It's just about the understanding, like, I have 364 days to be thankful for my family. Why would I only choose one of those things to be thankful for? You get what I'm saying? That's kind of the purpose of us going around asking these questions.
Yeah.
Because we have to wake up our people to the idea that they're memorializing a day and a slaughter of their people.
Yeah.
And that morally isn't right for our people to engage in those acts.
So just real quick to add on to that, like in today's society, they tell us to like remember shit, like remember 9/11, remember the Holocaust. You know what the Holocaust is, right? When they slaughtered the football Jews. All right. They tell us to remember these things, all right? But when it comes to us, when we ask them, hey, what about like the Native Americans and the African Americans, like all that slavery shit? They tell us, oh, we need to get over that. We need to get past that. You know what I mean? So when it's their pain, when it's their like.
But I feel like everybody chooses when to pick at when it comes to who's hurting at what point, right? So now they're making months, holidays,
Yeah, like Native American history.
Black History Month.
Yeah.
They're doing all this to categorize and give people the thought of like, hey, this is something for you guys to think and dwell on to make it an issue when it should just be all around, right? Like if it's happening now, what, like you said, 365, right? It's not just a month we're gonna celebrate, like, you know, what's going on then, and for every race or for whatever it is. So at the end of the day, it's just people. I mean, I feel as people look, this is what they're doing, manipulating everybody.
We believe that too.
And just another point, like as far as like the Native American history with Thanksgiving, so a lot of people don't know about that. That's why like we asked the question, like, you know, and did you even know about that? Did you even know about like the Native Americans were slaughtered?
Oh yeah.
And then they celebrated Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, I know about all that.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, I didn't know about that. I didn't know about it. But as soon as I observed that, like I immediately gave it up. I didn't celebrate it anymore because it was kind of like I'm celebrating like the harmful acts that were done to my people in history. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't celebrate it anymore. So, and we're not telling you, hey, you know, but what we're saying is like a lot of people don't know about it. A lot of people don't know about that history. They think like, what they teach us in school, like the Native American pilgrims came together and it was a nice, happy Thanksgiving. Okay, and come to find out, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that at all. It was a slaughter. You know what I mean? So that's why we're bringing it out, to bring it to people's attention, because when we know these things, we know what happened in history, and then we know like how it affects us today. Like now you equated it to like, hey, to put money in my pocket is paying the bills and stuff like that. Okay, now as far as he asked you, like whose land was this before the colonizers, the Europeans came?
Native.
And you said the natives, all right? So now, when they were in charge of the land, did they have to pay bills and pay taxes and all that? You see, so there's a reason why, because it affects us today, because we're put in a society, in a category where we have to, like, if we don't pay our rent, what happens? Get kicked out. If we don't pay our water bill, what happens? We shut that shit off. You know, like water's free; it falls from the sky.
Yeah.
You know, it's in the rivers and the lakes. You know, we're supposed to be allowed to, go get that water, but they charge us for it, and they're charging us on our own land. See what I'm saying? Like being a Latino, being Hispanic, being a Native. As a matter of fact, Latinos are just Native Americans from like Central and South America.
Yeah.
We're the Native Americans from that. But on our own land, like they make us pay rent. That's like me breaking into your house, throwing you in the basement, but you still got to pay the bills. You know what I mean? And that's crazy. So so that's why we bring it out, because a lot of people don't think about it that way. It's like not something they dwell on or think about it. And not saying that we dwell on it. We want to educate our people.
Right.
So,
And I want to leave you with this, because we're gonna get out of your hair, so we know you got something to do, right?
you appreciate your time.
You said you're a Hispanic brother, right?
Yeah.
You know your history's in the Bible, right? You know your history and culture's in the Bible? Let me show you real quick, right? This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13 and verse 40. You know who the Israelites are?
Oh,
The
yeah.
Israelites, whom Moses led out of Egypt? Let me show you this real quick. Verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar the king of Assyria led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel amongst themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. You would agree that the Native American and Hispanic people were the only people here before the conquistadors came over here, right?
No, let's go. Because that ain't true. Let's go.
Wow. Okay,
What?
but
What's this about?
Okay,
they're just wanting to talk. It's cool. Look, I'll catch up right now. I'll catch up.
I'm gonna keep reading.
But they're
Right.
also videoing you, so you know they're going to use that, right?
Okay, I don't care.
It says this, and we don't want to be contentious, brother. This is history.
Yeah, no, I get it.
We do this all over the nation, right? It says they're go into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river, for the Most High then showed signs unto them, and he held still the flood till they were passed over. This is the point. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsarith. They dwelt there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come. This is the point. It took you guys a year and a half to get to this land from the land of Assyria. You guys came over here by way of ships, right? It took you guys a year and a half. This land was called Arsarith, right? You go on the maps, you're not going to find a land called Arsarith at all. But you will find who Jewish people identified this land Arsarith and what it really is. It says, the name of the land beyond the great river, this is the Jewish encyclopedia. The name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the laws of Moses until the time of the restoration, according to 2nd Ezra chapter 13. Columbus identified America with this land. This land is called America. That's in the Bible. So you guys came over here. This is why you guys have rocks with Hebrew writing on it. You guys have the 10 Commandments called the Lost in the Stone. You can look this up in Hebrew, written in Hebrew. This was your guys' native language. So we wanted to give you a piece of your history. A piece of your history goes back that the Most High God never called you Mexican, right? Never called you Hispanic. You have a biblical identity according to the text. Your biblical identity is an Israelite, right? So you guys are God's chosen people according to the Bible. So that's the information we wanted to share with you. That memorializing Thanksgiving is just memorializing the slaughter of your own people. We got to get away from it, right? So that was all I wanted to leave you with.
Appreciate your time.
Hey, yeah, thank you
Yes, sir.
guys.
What's your name, brother?
Yes, sir.
Anthony.
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 What's your name,
Right.
brother?
First off, what's your ethnicity? Like, what do you
White, I guess.
Why? Okay. So we just had Thanksgiving. Did you celebrate Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you feel like everybody should be thankful?
I think it's hard to say. It depends, how things are. I mean, I grew up, man, my family was poor. Thankful that, you got your family maybe together sometimes and stuff. And thankfully, you probably live here too, where you got a lot more freedoms than you would in a lot of other places. That's one big thing I've noticed.
So, do you think you could tell me something that the Native Americans should be thankful for on this, specifically this day or yesterday?
I feel they've been screwed left and right. I've always felt sorry for them because they have been.
Yeah. So, do you feel like
what the government did to them? Well, we're talking like over 150 years ago.
Yeah.
Just throw on the reservation and forget them.
Okay. So, do you think?
I don't think that was right.
Do you think that they deserve to have justice served to them?
What kind of justice?
Any kind of justice.
Like, give them some rights?
Just something that will just balance everything out for all the atrocities and the genocide that has been.
We're talking things that totally, who's alive from those generations then? They should be able to give better opportunities than what they had.
You say who's alive from those generations, but
I'm just saying,
are the descendants still having to suffer what happened?
No, I say, but the thing is, the government's supposed to just throw them back on the reservation and just let them stay there, don't fit into society or nothing.
But they're still suffering from what the descendants have to go through.
They got a lot of alcohol problems.
Okay. So, do you benefit from what happened, having the Native American man take the fall, having to go through all those atrocities, and having the Europeans, the conquerors, benefit from that? Because those people aren't the ones that did the genocide aren't around anymore.
We all benefit from what they did 150, 200 years ago.
You say what?
We've all benefited from what they did from back in those days.
We've all. You say all. You say all. Say most white people?
Well, the Europeans, and then there's other people from other races too that also,
So, what does justice to you would look like? You said what kind of justice, but in your eyes,
I mean, I feel like they've done wrong. What they've done is, they did commit. It's hard to say, how things were like in those days. I wasn't around, But I mean, now we take it for granted. So I mean, this country here, we've been pretty lucky where we've never been attacked. Really, we might say by other countries. We have like 9/11. Here, people don't realize, the struggle a lot of people have put up with,
So let me ask you something too, because every time when, like you said, 9/11, every time that September 11 comes around, we all America has that moment of silence or something like that for all the fallen people who were a part of that, right? Yeah. So we memorialize that every year it comes around. But when Thanksgiving comes around, how come it has nothing to do with the genocide that happened to the Native American men? And instead, it's about just being thankful and eating
it's like Columbus Day. They call it I can't pronounce the word what they use for the Indian people.
Indigenous Day.
And that's what they call them now. They are. I consider them like they're really, really true Americans. Not
definitely.
Native American or whatever, they're true Americans.
Yeah.
And I think, like I say, it's hard to say now for what happened all those years ago. But when you drive through, I don't know, do you ever go to any reservations or anything?
Yeah, we live, they're all around us.
Where are you from?
I'm from Tulare.
Okay, that's where I'm from too. Yeah. But I mean, you drive like through New Mexico, man, and see how someone live around the Gallup area, man.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for them because they've just been thrown out there.
So, when do you think we can just stop feeling sorry and then start putting action towards them getting the justice that they deserve? Because it's easy to just feel sorry.
Oh yeah.
But would you give up everything just to fill that void?
Well, I don't have nothing really. I'm not, like I say, my family was poor growing up. I've probably done a little better than my parents did. Shoot, my dad's family came out here from Arkansas and they lived in a tent.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so let
me ask you this: you believe in the Bible?
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna take a look at what God thinks is right.
What does that say? Just even like look at the Ku Klux Klan. They say they're a Christian organization. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and see, in their eyes, they feel like they were doing the right thing. To them, it felt like they're right. But everybody has a different moral compass. It's not always the moral compass that God wants us to have. So we're gonna see what God says. You got that? Numbers 35.
Yeah, this is Book of Numbers, chapter 35 and verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land.
So it said blood defiled the land. All right. So this whole land has been defiled with all the bloodshed that has happened. Right. Okay.
That's been everywhere in the world too.
So
And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
So God said that the only way that the land can be cleansed from all the blood is by shedding the blood of the ones who shed blood to the people who were indigenous people that were of this land. So would you agree with that?
I don't know.
I mean, you said you believe in the Bible, you said believe in God, but this is actually God's word.
But like I say, you people that kill other people, it's just like if I went out and shot him right now. I always believe in what do you call it? I'm talking. But I feel like, even like the death penalty, I always feel like somebody just killed somebody cold blood.
That's that.
Okay.
That's
But then also like say, the guy that you execute that guy. How about the guy that pulls the plug pulls,
Yeah. So look, so we have the descendants of the Native American man going through all these, going through still oppression and being affected by the death that's happened to their ancestors by our conquerors. And you said the death penalty is something that would look like for justice if you shot my brother right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I always feel like if I just walked up and shot him dead.
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if I could honestly. I guess if we had to go fight in a war, that'd be hard. I don't know. I've never had to do that.
Just to get my little point across is we have the people who the descendants of the people who were involved in the genocide. We have their other descendants who committed the genocide. So, by your words, with the death penalty, then the death penalty is a just thing to look at for the penalty of them committing the genocide of the so-called Native American man.
Well, if they just cold-blooded killed him and stuff, but it's hard to say. I didn't live during that era.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I brought out.
The world has all changed a lot since then.
The descendants are still suffering.
They are still
suffering. But the descendants of the people who committed the genocide are still benefiting.
Well, people like that.
So there's benefits.
You look what they've done even still to their land now. It's not me. Because I don't think.
All right. So we always like to go back to God's word. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna read God's word.
Well, I need to get going.
All right.
Last verse.
Last verse.
Isaiah 14 and 21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
So the Most High said, prepare slaughter for the iniquities of their fathers, of what their fathers committed to the so-called Native American man, the genocide. It says, prepare slaughter for their children, the people who specifically weren't involved in that genocide, but that reaped the benefits from that. It says prepare slaughter for those people.
Yeah,
so would you agree with that?
Yeah.
That seemed just?
Yeah. I'm not gonna say it.
All right. Hey, we would much rather you be an honest person than sugarcoat.
Myself, all I know as far as my family back, we weren't,
come on.
making. We didn't. What do you want to say? We didn't benefit from like that.
Yeah, benefits. But we still, during this Thanksgiving time, you still benefit and don't look at the Native American man as something that you should be ashamed of at all. Because this is stolen land. Whether you have all the money, you're walking on stolen land. So that's a benefit already.
I gotta go.
All right. For sure.